Hello, I'm Anime Viewer 66, and for a while now I've been playing a good bit of Minecraft for a couple of months. It's kind of becoming its session at this point. It is an amazing game, but it can be improved, and they are making more improvements every day. So here is my list of things that I think that needs improving in the game and things they can add and whatnot. And please tell me what you think of the list and what you think they need to add or take away or do whatever in the comments down below. So without further ado, let's get into the list. Here's my first idea, and probably my favorite, and the one I want them to do most in this game. Have a teleportation device. I know a lot of people use the nether portals to get around fast, but I think that this idea would work much better. Have a central device that you can put down inside your main base. Then have several other little devices that you can put down wherever you're journeying off to, so that you can set them down, and once they're sat down, they can't be picked back up or whatever, and then once you teleport, you can go from point A to point B. These devices all hook up and you can like go from one to the other or whatever. And it would allow you to explore much more of the entire sort of world than you could elsewise. I cannot imagine how much more like appealing the game would be if it had this feature, because I cannot tell you how many times I've been going through the woods or the ocean biomes, whatever, and just got lost. Like, it took me forever. It got nighttime. I was freaking out. It was a nightmare. And I was just like, if only I had some sort of teleportation device. I know a lot of people are saying, well, that would be cheating. That's for scrubs and newbies. And hey, if you feel that way, you don't got to use it. But I think it would be very beneficial. Next up is weapon stacking. Okay, what I mean by this is everyone knows if you want to have multiple weapons or items like shovels or pickaxes or whatever, you have to put a bunch in your inventory. The only way to get around this really is to dig down and get some diamond versions so that you can, make them last longer. That's pretty much how it's been up to this point. But I really wish they would just let us stack the like weapons and tools. That would be so much better. I cannot imagine how much more fun this game would be if it would just let me stack like however amount of different sort of iron pickaxes or whatever, so I don't have to wear down like a whole thing of diamonds that I find that I could be making armor out of just to make this stupid pickaxe that'll last a good bit longer than the other pickaxes, but that I could have made something better out of. It just annoys me. And I know there will be people out there that saying, but that's the fun of it. You dig down, you find diamonds, you make a better thing. It's Minecraft, that's how it works. And I get that. But I'm just saying, for those of us that don't like to waste diamonds on making tools and things, it would be much better to be able to stack things. Like, you could still have armor that would be a beneficial thing to use diamonds with, and you could still have a sword, like a diamond sword, which would be a beneficial thing to use diamonds with. But I think tools in particular they need to be able to be stacked so that we don't have to resort to diamonds if we don't want to. Next up is monster mobs. Seriously, this whole game is great in having different sort of mobs. Like, it has zombies and skeletons and all sorts of different things in the nether with those weird flaming skeleton things and the endermen and all these different cool different mobs that you can fight. But I think maybe having a few more would be really cool, and they could add those in later expansions and stuff. Like, for instance, a werewolf. That would be cool. Like, maybe having certain villagers be infected, and you have to examine the villagers and whatnot to figure out who's infected and if you can find them and cure them or whatnot. Things like that would be cool. Or maybe having, like, I don't know, some sort of giant rock troll or something like that. Some sort of like monsters that we haven't seen before would be really cool. Next up is make a watch that actually works. The watches in this game are sort of hard to tell what exactly it's supposed to be, if it's like sunrise, sunset, in the middle, whatever. Maybe I'm the only one that has this problem, but I can never tell what it says. I suggest they make a clock with actual like countdown numbers that you can go to, that you can see like this is how much time it has in the day, this is how much time it has for night, and all that sort of thing. That would be really helpful. Here recently, they've added shields to the game, which I think is really cool, but I think which would be even better is if they added new weapons like maybe bombs that you could throw, because seriously, having like basically TNT you can throw at like zombies or whatever else, your enemies, and have it explode or some version of that would be awesome. Also, maybe a spear, because with the bow and arrow, you have long range weapon. With the sword, you have a close range weapon, a spear would be a good mid-range weapon, I think. And that's what I think the game needs, is some variety in weaponry. Going back to the new mobs they could make, I would really love it if they put in dragons as a type of creature that you could both fight and tame. Like, how cool would it be to ride on the back of a dragon over your lands and whatnot, to actually be able to fly in survival if you can somehow tame this mighty beast? You could make it like challenging or whatever by having to give them a lot of meat or whatever, just whatever, and be able to have these mighty beasts, and also maybe some water dragons or something like that that you could ride across the oceans and whatnot. Just something like that. I've always been fascinated with dragons, and I'm guessing a great many people out there, including the people that worked on this game, are too, consider the Ender Dragon and all that. And I think this game could definitely innovate with some more dragon designs. Next up, I think they need to increase the amounts of blocks that can be stacked together as well. Like, for instance, with rock or sand or whatever, make it up to at least 100, I think would be a good number for them. It's more of a personal peeve, but I think having blocks being able to stack more would be better for builders and whatnot. And last, but certainly not least, making saddles. Seriously, let us just make the saddles. I do not know if I'm the only one that gets angry at this, but the fact that I have to go out of my way to go through dungeons and whatnot just to get a saddle seems stupid. If I have say 3 leather or whatever, I should be able to make a saddle. Plain and simple. With all that said, I hope you liked the video. I am the Anime Viewer 66. Thank you, and good night.